All right, so we're going to create an animated name. You can create your name, but we're going to go with just create new. We're not actually using a photo in this one. We're going to go with default Photoshop size, and our background we want to be black. I'm going to take the timeline off right now just in case you guys are working without one. Um, so first thing we need to add on our black background is our text. So we're going to click and drag using the text tool. We're going to make a text box. It's going to automatically put something in there. You can delete it right there and type your name. So I'm going to type my name, 2 lines, and then you can highlight it and you can go in here and choose the font that you want. I like this Phosphate font. Looks pretty cool to me. Go choose whatever you want. If you need to make it bold or anything like that, um, that way you can see the color pretty well. And then change your font size to any size that you need right there. And we want the color to be white. Okay, now I need to make my color layer because the color is actually what we're going to be animated. So I need to come over here and I'm going to use the solid color option on making a new layer. I'm going to make it like this teal color. You can choose whatever color you want. That's up to you. And then I'm going to paint on this layer. First color I'm going to use is this dark blue, and if the color isn't showing up over here for you, you can come click right here and choose it as well. So to paint on this, it's going to ask me to rasterize it. I'm going to say okay, and it's going to let me do that. The paint on this, we can see we want to make sure our hardness is all the way at 0. You can make it a pretty big brush, and that way it fades in and out nicely. So I'm going to paint up in this corner with the dark blue, and then I'm going to come paint on the other side with a bright green. So we got this transition of color right there, and you can play around with that however you like. But we've got 2 layers to work with now. So I'm going to go use window and the timeline option. All right, so this is where we actually make the animation happen. I'm not going to touch the text, but before we can do this, I want this to show through just the text and not on my background. So I'm going to right click on that layer and I'm going to create clipping mask. And we can see it only shows through the text that is below it. I'm also going to make this a smart object. All right, and now with the smart object, I will be able to transform it again rather than just move it around. I can change the size too. So the first thing I want to do is free transform. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit so when I'm rotating it, I won't hit those edges. I want to make sure I can see that all 3 colors. All right, so I like that one. I'm going to click check, and I'm going to make my first keyframe right there. All right, and then I'm going to move a second down the line, and I'm going to go to Edit, Free Transform, which see it's Command T, so I'm going to be using Command T from now on after this, and I'm going to rotate. I'm not going to change the size, I'm just going to rotate it. I'm going to get my corners up, click the check mark, makes a new keyframe for me because I made a change. Go to the second, and I'm going to do Command T, rotate, check. Go to the third second, Command T to transform, rotate next corner up, check mark. Move it to the next second, Command T for transform, rotate to the next corner up, check mark. And then for this last one, I'm going to create a keyframe, but what I'm actually going to do is come click on this first one because I want it to match the last one. I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to right click on this last one, and I'm going to paste. So it's exactly the same as the first one, so that whenever we create a GIF, it loops. Okay, so now I need to, I can play this through and make sure it looks right, but you can see as I drag this through, it's rotating and it looks just fine. So the long process of creating a GIF, we'll start with going to File, and then Export, Save for Web. All right, so I'm going to click on this, and it's going to take a while, so I'm going to actually have a second video where we go through this process.